Snowpiercer represents a famous American post-apocalyptic thriller TV drama series, and we must admit that the last season finished with a few cliffhangers. This left all of us confused, and due to that now, let's see the theories for Snowpiercer's third season. Stay with us and find out about Snowpiercer moments in Season 3 that will surprise everyone. Amazingly enough, Archie Punjabi's character is going to be linked to Melanie. At the moment when Archie Punjabi was first declared in February, no one was sure of how she'd suit the dystopian tale. Nevertheless, subsequently the happenings in the finale of the series, it won't be any surprise if Punjabi's character is gonna be linked to Melanie. Possibly Melanie will stagger upon Punjabi's character after initially leaving the station to die after the expiration of rations.
Attention all passengers.
But let's for a minute entertain the idea that she finds another station or some distant abandoned building wherein Punjabi's character succeeded in surviving the freeze. In that case, she should recharge, rest, and also regroup.
I want my train back, Melanie.
She's not mine to surrender.
Then whose is she?
Wilford will attempt to enter into Ruth's head. Since Ruth was left alone in the lion's hole, she is trapped with a man she once respected but now despises. Part of Ruth's evolution in the previous season created her own identity to look divided from Snowpiercer. Taking out herself from Wilford, Ruth unshamedly denied Wilford's promotion to head of hospitality. Afterward, Ruth luckily broke free from the compost room on Big Alice. We can say that Kevin or Tom Lipinski shown to be quite an obstacle stopping Ruth from encountering Layton at their appointed spot.
No kings here. Snowpiercer belongs to the people now.
It's possible for Wilford to grab the chance and enter Ruth's mind. It can result in him sneakily trying to convince her himself. Nevertheless, Wilford will start to think that Ruth is actually defenseless and weak without Layton, and he'll shortly discover that Ruth is the only force to be accounted for.
Alright, two things first. I don't give a shit who you are.
Skies is gonna try to deliver intel to Wilford. Yes, it most likely is that Chelsea Harris in the wide picture of things is gonna play the bigger role. Even though we didn't notice her in the final season, post-Wilford escape, her character is still there with Layton and co. We all know the saying, keep your enemies close, right?
You're going back for Melanie.
Miss your chance, son. Melanie's long behind it.
Maybe that's the case with Skies trying to deliver intel to Wilford. She showed that she is an even more than a worthy opponent for Bennett when they both come to grips. She's absolutely unbelievably clever and will for sure try to keep her boss informed of anything that the enemies prepare to do. Wilford will contradict Layton's desire. No one would imagine that Wilford will comply with Layton's desire for a tranquil occupation. In spite of Layton using Wilford's lady love as a deal chip, Wilford is too self-absorbed not to somehow settle the score. He's obviously not in love with Miss Audrey, not at all. We're aware that he abused her due to their previous affair. And it's obvious that no abuser will ever change their stake, and we all know that they are capable of doing anything they can to keep their despotic position.
I know you've been dying to visit. Step over before the doors close.
So exactly this can make Wilford put Zara or also Sheila Vand at risk of threatening the baby in her own womb. He won't lose the chance to take all the control in his hands and utilize authority over guiltless people. On top of that, it's clear that Wilford will put a greater degree of Layton's associates in drawers, such as Roch's family.
Where are your friends?
Around. Where are they? We know you're plotting for Wilford.
What the hell are you talking about?
Zara is going to be in more danger than she has ever been, even though Zara thinks she's in the safety zone. Is that the truth? Even though Wilford is interested in protecting her unborn baby. That's probably so that he can have his reckless scientists' experiments on them. Nevertheless, Wilford is very uncertain. It's most likely that Zara would get overly confident and with that not being able to see his unavoidable strikes. This man is very tricky and calculating, we must admit. There's no doubt that he will manage to find a way when talking about her and her pregnancy. Josie's fresh, cool resilience will be engaged again. In the previous season, we find out that Josie managed to survive enormous exposure to the cold. Exactly at that moment, when we believed she departed, this mighty girl shows up from the brink stronger than ever before. She has such thick skin that can withstand even the coldest temperatures that can actually exist. She had the chance to be Wilford's potential icy Bob, but she fortunately changed her mind and supported Layton on the contrary. We can admit that Josie's way when testing her character has been very interesting. It's obvious that she had fun with that. Everything was thrilling and interesting for her. That's something like consuming a drug, that huge rush of serotonin. It won't be a surprise at all if Josie's cold entrance will play an important role in the guarantee of the group's success in the following season. It's most likely that Josie will need to risk outdoors, and as the hero saving the day, she's a huge badass, we must say.
Come. Let me show you what I've done with the place.
There's nothing I'd like more.
It may take some time, but Miss Audrey is going to turn on Wilford. Indeed, everyone was uncertain if Audrey was truly under Wilford's influence or solely playing the big con. After all, she's a great performer and she does her job extremely well. Nevertheless, while the end of the season was near, everyone started believing that Audrey was truly faithful to Wilford. And yes, one relationship like this one, including one abuser and one survivor, is always cyclical. We can say that it's somehow a rewards and punishments, almost debatable type of connection where it's very likely for the survivor to create a trauma bond with the abuser, and that connection can be hard to break. So it's more than likely that Audrey pulled back into his unstable, disordered vortex due to the fact that that's all he has known. So with that said, Audrey will probably choose the good side and is now isolated from Wilford. Maybe Layton and Bess are gonna take her to find a reason.
Tell Mr. Wilford the people of Snowpiercer will never surrender.
Who are you exactly?
I'm the guy whose back door you just kicked in.
Also, there's gonna be a natural disaster that hinders the group from the reunion. Do you remember the Season 1 avalanche that really branched things up? So it's more than expected for the things to be somehow the same in the third season too, especially when talking about Layton and his petite bullet train. And yes, Bennett and Alex are the only engineers on hand, so they'll give their best and do all that they can to make it moving. But as Ben noted in the previous series finale, the train works unbelievably hot in view of the fact that it was separated from the main vessel. On top of that, Melanie's data is a great example that the weather is indeed altering. Gradually, Mother Nature is heating, which can lead to a huge natural disaster and hinder our heroes on their long and unbearable journey. Maybe another landslide or some huge and destructive earthquake. No matter the case, it is most likely for Mother Nature to make herself visible and dominant anyways.
This is just the beginning, Andre. He's going to take everything we just fought for.
Tell me about it later.
On top of that, we're not gonna see Wilford feeling defeated, waving the famous and well-known white flag of surrender. That won't be the case at all. He'll never ever admit his defeat. Wilford is too proud and stiff-necked to do that. We might be seeing him, at least in this following season, as the main antagonist before he finally disappears. Who knows, maybe the season is gonna end exactly that way, with his death. What do you think? Tell us your assumptions for the upcoming season and do that in the comment section below. On a related note, we wanted to know which part was your favorite one from our video. You can tell us in the comment section below, we would love to know. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching guys.